My goal is by the end of this video, you have everything you need to make passing easy. That means you're going to be throwing a lot less interceptions and a ton more touchdowns. So if that's something you're interested in, let's get into it. Now, the first thing we got to talk about when it comes to passing is actually not on the field at all, but rather it's going to be in our settings. So what we need to do here is press the pause button, or if you're in the main menu, you can do this from the main menu. Go into options and then go into settings. We're going to scroll down to passing mechanics, and the very first thing you're going to see is passing type. I have tested all of this stuff a ton, way more than I'm proud to say. And I think revamp passing is by far the easiest and the simplest to start understanding and still perform at a very high level, especially with the following settings. The only other one I'd consider here is placement and accuracy, and that's only if you've played Madden the past couple of years and you really like freeforming, but that's a video for another day. Revamp passing slowdown is going to be off, and then the pass lead increase is going to be none, okay? This setting right here, important. Please have this to none on revamp passing. Then our reticle speed, I want to put this at 20 actually. That's going to get us some pretty good pass leads, but with the pass lead increase being at none, it won't be too much, okay? Now, with revamp passing, what we want to do here is that it's giving us this like little meter, all right? You'll see it right there. We're able to fill it up with a blue bar, and how much you fill it up with that blue bar determines how much throw power is added to the ball and how much like arc is added. So right here, I'm gonna throw my zig on the right side, but I'm just gonna tap it. You see with the tap, we get a crazy lob, okay? Now this time, I'm gonna hold it a little bit longer. Boom. You see we get more of a bullet pass. But if you looked at that, there was actually a little bit of a yellow area near the end of the blue meter, and that's gonna be a perfect bullet pass. Now we'll see if I can actually get it on command right here. I don't know if I will. We'll look for B with it. I'm just barely short. The yellow, though, if you can just get it right there, is going to be like the best bullet pass type thing you can get. See if we can get it with RB here. Yellow, there we go. Beautiful, beautiful. And that's just what that's going to be. But there's one other thing you got to keep in mind with this, is that on some harder throws, so I'm going to try throwing this C route on the left. You're going to see there's going to be some red at the end. So if we do it on some harder throws, there's this little red at the very, very end of the meter. And what that's going to be is that if you hold down the button, you're going to get red. And you can still complete passes, but they're going to be much less accurate, okay? So you just don't want to hold it down all the way on some of these harder throws, or else it's just going to consistently be red. That was a weird animation. And again, the blue meter is solely determined by how long you hold the button, okay? And there's nothing wrong with getting in between the yellow and, you know, the very beginning. It's just all going to change the actual arc of the ball. And again, I think this is by far the easiest thing for someone to start getting passing or get going passing in this game. So the next thing we got to talk about when it comes to passing is the idea of pass leading, okay? And this is huge, especially for tight throws. There's a difference between an interception a lot of times and a potential touchdown. So the way you pass lead in this game is by simply pushing the left stick in the direction of where you want the ball to go while you're passing, okay? So let's actually break this down and why you want to pass lead. Let's say we're trying to throw Y right here, right? In this case, we have a defender behind him. So I want to pass lead this all the way outside to the right. So I'm just going to push my stick all the way outside to the right. Let's do it again right here. Outside to the right. And we're able to get really easy rack. Let's say next play, though, I'm going to have an intentionally bad pass lead. I'm actually going to put this ball behind him for some reason, right? Let's go. Now we're going to push it all the way to the left. And you see how this time I back shoulder it. He has to spin to catch it and gets hit. That could even result in a pick on much tighter coverage, right? And pass leading in and of itself is just putting the ball where you want it. And where is that? That's just where only your receiver can get it, and the defense can't touch it, right? So you have something like this. Defense is to the left. We'll throw it to the right. And this is really sensitive with the left stick. So you could technically even do something like down and right and up, right? You could do just, you know, no pass lead maybe. Right there, I kind of got up a little bit. Let's see if I can show an example of me pass leading this down the next play. Let's look for Y. I'm going to pass lead it down and outside. And you see how I kind of catch that ball down. This has a huge impact on every type of route. A good example is right here on the left side, we have a comeback route. Now, the open grass here is going to be down, okay? Usually down and outside. So that's where my pass lead was right there. But let's say I pass lead this ball up. Okay, let's see the difference. Right there, I didn't get touched. This time, I go, and I'm actually getting hit as soon as I catch it because my pass lead was a little bit off. And again, on certain throws and certain tight window type stuff, this could be the difference between a pick or not. Right there's a great example. I put it back shoulder, and he got hit as soon as he caught it. Pass leading is massive in this game, and with revamp, it's just simply by pushing the left stick in the direction where you want to go, and you're able to have a lot of control over the ball, and it will limit your turnovers big time. And if you've gotten any value from this video so far, consider doing me a favor, hitting the subscribe button. It shows YouTube that you enjoyed this video, and it will help you get pushed to more and more college football players just like yourself, so more people can learn about the ins and outs of passing and just have more fun on the game. Now, we got to talk about the 3 different catch types in college football 25. But first, there's actually something that like nobody mentions. I don't know why people just like don't talk about this for some reason, but you need to be clicking on to your receivers when the ball is in the air. I'm telling you. So the way you do this is just by tapping B or circle on PlayStation after the ball is already thrown, which is going to give you user control of the receiver that you're throwing to adjust his path a little bit, okay? And that's going to let you make a better catch type. So just keep that in mind. An example of clicking on to a receiver, let's go right side right here to A. I'm going to throw A, and I'm going to click on and attack the ball with an aggressive catch. The click on makes, it like really will make sure that you attack the ball. And instead, if we don't click on right here to A again, you're going to see that he's just going to let the ball come to him, which just isn't what you want to do. You always want to attack the ball. So keep in mind clicking onto a receiver. Now, 3 different catch types, pretty basic. We have A or X on PlayStation. That is going to be a possession catch. So we'll show this really fast. Possession catch, really, really good for just getting down and avoiding contact. Or if you're on the sidelines, possession catches are really good for like toe tapping. So we do it again. See, kind of that idea. A or X on PlayStation. Next, we actually have X on Xbox or square on PlayStation for a rack catch. This is great in situations where you're trying to get run after the catch, right? So on possession catches, you get down immediately. So let's do this again. Possession catch right here. You would just immediately get down. Let's pretend there's traffic right there if that's the first down marker. Rat catch is great for when you see open field and you want to just take advantage of it, right? Now you are a little bit at a higher risk here of getting the ball knocked out if there was traffic. So keep that in mind. All of this is being done, by the way, when I click onto my receiver with the ball in the air, right? Boom. Be able to see kind of that little click on. Now, the Y or triangle button is aggressive catching. A lot of people think aggressive catching is only good for when you're trying like to, do something like this. And that is when you would aggressive catch, or that's one of the examples. But the other way is whenever I'm throwing into tight coverage, especially deeper downfield. So let's look at A, for example, here, this corner route on the right. I'm actually going to use an aggressive catch here with him because let's just pretend that it was tight coverage, right? Let's pretend that corner over top was coming down on him. So aggressive catches are going to attack the ball for you. This is really good for like acting like it's a box out or something and cutting the ball off from the DB being able to make a play. I really will only use these in tighter coverage, and especially when I'm trying to cut the ball off like I am right here. Notice the difference with that catch as opposed to if I just if I don't click on and, I just do whatever, right? And especially that's without a pass lead too. Pass leading makes a huge difference. But here, I'll do the same pass lead. We'll make sure we get that done. Let's do it here again. Boom. See kind of the difference. Like he just lets the ball come to him, which if there's a DB right on him, that's going to let it get undercut, okay? All of these can be used all throughout a game. I probably use the rack catch the most because rack in this game, tackling is just very hard. So throwing underneath and getting big yards is a big deal. But the possession right here, let's say it's 4th and 1. Boom, catch it, get down. Ag catch is also really good. Let's say this is like really aggressive coverage underneath. We could technically ag catch this. Whoops, I just pump faked. I was trying to do too much right there. Pump fake by double tapping the button, by the way. But right here, let's say it's really tight coverage. We could aggressive catch, but aggressive catching is kind of harder on underneath routes. Now, I wanted to give you guys something that's a little bit sexier than the stuff that we've been going over, and that is the idea of custom stems, okay? This is incredibly powerful. So, on the right side, you see we have a tight end on a deepish corner route. But what we can do here is press Y or triangle, then we're going to select the receiver we want to do this to. In this case, it's a tight end, so A. And that's going to bring up our hot route screen. If you look, there's something called custom stem by pressing LB or L1 on PlayStation. If we hold this, you have to hold it, and then push the left stick down, you'll see we can actually make this corner route go all the way down. But also, we can make them go a little higher, or a little higher, or a little higher if you wanted to. My favorite thing to do with this, though, is to take these deep corner routes and make them really, really short and then just put a route underneath them like a drag from the other side, okay? This is a great little route combo that you can actually steal pretty quickly. And what we do with this is going to beat man coverage, but it's also going to create a high-low on that sideline that's going to make the flat defender have to choose. And now, right there, we get a little bumpage. Don't worry. Sometimes, if you have bad route combos, which that kind of was, your players will bump. Try to avoid that. But in this case, what am I doing with the pass? Well, right there, I'm rack catching it, right? And honestly, what I should do is not only rack catch it, but I should pass lead the drag outside and rack catch it. So right here, pass lead outside, rack catch. And now we're cooking, right? Now, when I throw the tight end, let's see if we get an example of throwing the tight end right here. We go here. I'm actually going to try aggressive catching or possession catching that ball, depending on what I feel like is a little bit more needed. I wouldn't rack catch this, right? Right here, we're all the way sideline. You see the click on to cut off the ball, and then we're possession catching it on the sideline. That click on is really, really cool. Right there, again, possession catch. But that's all using custom stems, and that's a little route combo that you can steal, add to your offense. It's very good. I run it from almost everything I do right now. Now, a lot of people I've seen comments and stuff talk about how pass rush is really tough, and they feel like they get no time in the pocket. And it is true. Pass rush in this game is very good, especially for the beginning of the year as opposed to other years. But what I'll say is, one of the biggest things you could do to help negate pass rush and to help yourself out a good amount is to make sure we're having good pocket presence. There is a penalty in this game. If you back up, you will get faster sheds against you, okay? Or if they're sending edge pressure, the edge pressure will get in faster on you. And then on top of that, there's also, if you hold RT or tap RT, it'll help trigger sheds. Tapping the right trigger will force the defense to shed faster, okay? It's like that on run plays too, by the way. So what we want to do is, as soon as you get the snap, immediately push the stick up or to the left or right by just a step or so, okay? That's going to make sure you don't walk backwards. We cannot walk backwards. It's going to be faster sheds, like I said, edge pressure, and the ball's in the air for longer when we walk backwards, making the defensive backs have more time to react. Want to push the stick left or right or up, kind of up to you. And then we want to try walking up the pocket some, okay? So something like this, like boom, step up, we're here, and then we're just chilling, right? We're just chilling. You don't always even need to be pushing the left stick in one direction or the other. You just don't want to be walking back, right? We're here, boom, we're chilling, we're chilling. Notice how I've gotten myself way more time. And now you also have the option to roll out. So if you see a huge lane, you can hold right trigger and actually just take off with your quarterback. Right here, you see I'm going to drift a little bit to the left, and now we're going to hit B. Notice how by focusing on my pocket presence, I've literally bought myself time now. Right, we're here again. Let's go. Now, sometimes you will just get totally shedded. Right here, though, we see the lane, we take off. He shedded me to the outside, so we're able to do that. All right, boom, push it up. Here we go, walking around, boom. And sometimes you will just get shedded, right? Like, there is a pass rush in this game. Like, that's just football, brother. You know what I mean? But we just want to make sure we're not doing anything crazy. You don't even, again, you don't need to be moving all the time in the pocket. You just want to stop the drop, and then, you know, right, we're looking to make reads. Right there, I just got shedded really fast. Not a ton you can do. It's worth noting that there are times where drifting back is not the worst thing ever, and it can buy you some time, especially against interior pressure. But overall, stepping up in the pocket, even if you get sacked, if you step up, that sack's going to be for 3 or 4 yards instead of walking backwards and having it be 8 or 9 yards, which is obviously a massive difference. So making reads is one of the biggest things I see just like bad information on, in my opinion. Now, I am not a very smart man. I want to be very clear about this. I'm not smart at all. I have won tens of thousands of dollars playing competitive Madden with passing the ball being my primary way of offense, and I'm friends with the best passers to ever play the game. It's just like, is what it is. It's like, it just is a fact. Again, I am stupid when it comes to most things. Passing the ball, I know a little bit about, and I never, ever, ever am reading the safeties when I'm passing the ball. Never. I'm never looking at the high safeties and being like, okay, what are they doing? Cover 3? Okay. And the reason for that, it's really 2 things. One, you can disguise coverages in this game really, really easy. And in Madden, you could base align. So you never really know what coverage someone's going to be in pre-snap if you're playing somebody who's decent at the game at all. Or if you're playing the CPU even, I think they'll disguise coverages a lot too. Now, the next thing with that is that they could be in a cover 3, but they could be in a cover 3 hard flat. They could be in a cover 3 that has 20-yard hook curls. They could be in a cover 3 that has super deep flats. So So it's just hard because people will look for coverage and then make their read based off that without actually seeing who's open. So what I like to do instead is to cut the field in half, okay, run very basic route combos that attack one half of the field specifically. So right here, we have a flood concept. That's going to be a streak, a deep pull route. We have a intermediate sideline route, and then we have a short sideline route with a zig. These could be changed, but I think this idea, you could steal this and put it into any formation, by the way. Really, really basic because we're just making little reads right here. Oh, open space, bottom right. I know then my zig is attacking that area of the field. And that's why knowing your play calls is really, really big. Calling plays at random, it's harder for you to identify what's open and what's not. Right there, I saw open space bottom left or bottom right, but I also saw open space above that guy too, so we're able to take advantage that same way. Now, the next step of this, by the way, is that we want to have some sort of backside option as well. This could just be a backside route all by itself. So right here, we're going to go with a backside in route to the left, but it also could be a backside concept. So right here, we're actually going to go with a little high-low on the sideline with the halfback flat route and a comeback. This is going to high-low that left sideline. So let's pretend, oh, right side, nothing there. Okay, let's go backside. Right there, we get hit. But you can kind of get the idea there where if my strong side is not open, right, the side I want to go to is not there, we have something that we can go back to. Not there? Okay, we'll go backside. And we're able to hit the table route. We could hit you get kind of the idea right here, right? You don't want to make predetermined reads. I think that is a huge mistake that a lot of people do. And they go, oh, cover 3? Oh, I know this is going to be open against cover 3. And it's not because it's not basic cover 3. It's hard flats, or it's, you know, they have 15-yard hooks, or they have a user or something, right? So that's why I really believe in identifying open areas after the snap. So what are you doing pre-snap then? If you're not really looking for coverages like that, because you can just, this could be, you know, one high is usually cover 3 or cover 1, just because disguising cover 2 or cover 4 from this is bad. But from 2 high safeties, it could be a lot of different things. So what I always look for is man or zone. What do I think? And that could be done with alignment. So right here, I'm thinking zone, just because this outside corner on the right is off and he's outside. It'd be a weird place to run man coverage. But if he was pressed up on him, I'd think maybe man. But then I'm thinking blitz, no blitz, because that tells me how ready I need to be to throw whatever my hot is, or if I need to set up protection. So right here, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players on the line of scrimmage. This could be a blitz. So I'm going to block my halfback, and then I'm also going to get really ready to quick throw my tight end if need be. And guess what? They didn't blitz me. So then I'm just reading open spaces, right? We're just going back to what we did before. This is what has been successful for me when it comes to passing the ball and actually making reads that work in a video game and be able to work against actual like human beings or like Heisman level defense on against the CPU, stuff like that. Again, this is just what's worked for me and other of my friends who have played competitive Madden and College Football 25 now at a decent level. Your halfback is one of your best friends when it comes to actually getting easy yardage in College Football 25, especially with how hard tackling is and how good some of these skill moves are, right? Imagine this, right? You're able to just put your halfback on an in route, and he's going to do a great job against man coverage. He's going to do a great job against the blitz, and he's going to do a great job at just quickly attacking the flat. So the routes I like my halfback to be on are out routes like this, in routes like this, or Texas routes. Those are the 3 main ones, and then the occasional flat as well if I'm doing that custom stem concept from earlier. Now, all we got to do here is just try to force his hand a little bit, right? Go underneath, bang, and then we're able to get rack. Make them defend the halfback, because if they are defending him well, that means everybody else is getting wide open. It really does. Right here, we'll go to the halfback again, make someone miss. Don't make them miss right there, but able to still get 5 yards. The angle route is one of the coolest routes because it attacks the middle of the field super well, and it'll do a good job against man coverage. We're going to pass lead this bad boy down, rat catch it. We catch it for about 6 right there. But if you've played this game, you know that how good the angle route can be. We'll go back to it again right here. They actually do a good job of defending just across the board in the middle of the field, so props to them on that. Now, let's say they're blitzing you, and you still want to get some protection, but you want your halfback on a route. Let's just block our tight end, right? That's a great way. Now they run man coverage. My halfback gets a step. We're able to throw it, and we're able to get a cool little 5 yards with a potential for much, much, much more. Go back to it again. Oh, blitz. We go halfback again. He cooks his man this time. We get some rack. Maybe we make someone miss. Maybe we don't. But these are all really easy and safe throws just by getting your halfback involved. Now, we just talked about your halfback, and he's great for this, but he doesn't have to be the guy for this. But we always need some sort of check down in our passing plays, okay? Someone going underneath. This could be a drag from a tight end. It could be a flat from a receiver. It could be a zig or, something like that. It could even be a smoke screen like we have here on the right side. Just somebody who's going to quickly attack the flats of the defense, where if they blitz us, we can quickly throw him and we're going to be okay. Now, what we also can't do is we don't want to waste routes by having, like, let's say, we put Y on a streak, and then let's also put, like, B on a streak as well. Now, the reason this is really stupid is, especially with, another deep route here, is that what if they blitz us? What do? We just get sacked, or we throw it into coverage. That's terrible. We don't want that, right? Or what if they just cover our deep options? What happens? Nothing. It's just a bad play. Our underneath options are always going to make it to be a really, really nice, like, bailout potential. They'll route bounce if the play breaks down. And truthfully, if you find yourself in situations where none of your routes are getting open, there's a really high chance that we're just calling bad plays, right? Offense always has a massive advantage on inside of just in real life and video game football, right? You will miss reads, and that's something that's okay. But if you find yourself not able to get people open in general, it's probably a play calling thing, and there's a good chance you just need to start attacking the flats a little bit better and have less routes going deep down the field, right? Right here even, not great because we have a deep post route and then a streak. They're attacking the same area of the field late, and they both take forever to develop, right? For these to get open, the defense would literally have to bust their coverage, which most defenses just don't bust coverage, right? They usually are pretty decent deep, right? If you call a play and it breaks down, nobody is open, please throw the ball away. Do not force it into coverage. I see a lot of people, this situation, right? They go back, they get ready, let's go hut. They're getting pressure in on you, let's pretend, no one's open, and they just hit a button. That is an interception. We have to protect the football. One of the ways we do this is by throwing the ball away, which is simply just clicking the right stick in. Now, ideally, we have a flat route of some sort on the field, like a check down, like we just talked about, because if you throw the ball away and there's no check down, you'll get intentional grounding. But if you click the right stick in and there's someone in the flats, you will, for the most part, be protected from that, and it's just an incompletion. Incompletions are fine. Short sacks, like stepping up in the pocket, like we talked about with pocket presence, is fine. But what we see right there, no flat, we get intentional grounding. That is even fine. What is not fine is forcing the ball into coverage and turning it over. That is how you lose. If nothing is there, you absolutely need to click the right stick in to throw the ball away. So I wanted to give you guys 2 route combos that you can easily add into any playbook, into a ton of formations that are really simple to run and beat man coverage and zone coverage. Now, this is utilizing a mesh concept. If you know where that is in your playbook, go to it. Usually they're out of like compressed formations or doubles formations. Or you can go to concept, go to medium pass. Let's scroll all the way over to mesh and then select one of these. Now, again, I like this out of compressed stuff, so we'll go to cross wheels here, out of tight doubles. Now, the setup is really simple. I'll usually block my halfback out of this. And then the mesh here is the drags running through each other, right? They are meshing underneath. Now, all we need to do is put a post route on one receiver and a streak on the opposite. We're running out of time here, so we'll just eat a delay. It's fine. But the idea here is that both drags are going to mesh and beat man coverage, but then they're attacking the middle and they're attacking these short sidelines late. And then the post is going to attack that intermediate middle and then kind of deep seam, deep sideline a little bit later into the play. So what it should look like is this right here. Feel free to screenshot this, by the way. You can apply this a lot of different playbooks. Hut. Immediately, we're looking underneath, and I actually see I have Y. So we're going to pass lead that outside and then rat catch it. And you see how everything's kind of coming together right here, right? We're pass leading. We have good pocket. We're calling out good plays. Really big deal. Kind of same thing right here. This is out of a different playbook, or I'm sorry, different formation, but same concept, right? Let's go back to it again. We have the drags. They actually blew coverage right there, and we pass led that one up. You see the idea that we're able to do with this play. Now, the next one I want to do is the idea of levels. So the way you can find this, if you know what level sail looks like, you just find it. It's in a lot of trips formations. Or you can, again, go to concepts, medium pass, and levels is one of them. And we're going to select level sail. Now, remember that custom stem we used earlier for the tight end corner route? We're going to do that right here. Stem him all the way down. And then on the backside here, we have 3 different in routes. All I want to do is put my middle one on a flat, so then we have some pretty good horizontal spacing. I'm initially checking the halfback side. We're looking underneath over top. And then I'm working backside, right? So we're splitting the field in half. Boom. Oh, we got that. We're going to throw him. Right there, I highballed, but that's a little bit more of an advanced tip coming in a future video. And then if neither of them were open, right, I would just work my eyes backwards. This is, again, another thing you could steal, available in a ton of trips formations. And these are all things you can hot route as well. So boom, nothing there. We'll work backside. I actually do a terrible job working backside. I had the in route. Let's do it one more time. And let's see just what this looks like one final time. Boom. Sometimes if you're blind, there's no helping you like I was right there. Bang. We'll go backside right here. We'll go in route a little bit in that seam. And right there, I pass it backwards to catch it before that flat zone defender. Now, if you've gotten any value from this video, consider watching this one right here where I break down the complete guide to playing defense in College Football 25.